Hello students. Lastly, we completed the first P, that is product of all the 4 P's of marketing, that is product, price, place and promotion. Just to give you a quick overview, under the element of product, we studied branding, we studied labeling as well as packaging. Now we are moving ahead with the second element of marketing mix, that is price. So, what is a price? When we think about price, the first thing that it comes to our mind is something that we pay. Price means anything that we are asked to pay for buying any goods or services. So, marketing is exchange of goods or services for a value. So, this value is the money paid to purchase a product. Although the word value and price are quite different, but here for the marketing purpose, we take them to be the same. So, this money represent the sum of values that customers exchange for the benefit of having or using the product or service and is referred to as price of the product. So, any amount of money that you are willing to pay for buying something is the price of the product. While cost itself is a different word, here we are referring to MRP or maximum retail or maximum selling price of a product that you will have to pay in order to buy something. So, price may be defined as the amount of money paid by a buyer to the seller in consideration of the purchase of a product or a service. No product or service can be launched without a price tag, right? Because otherwise it won't be a part of commercial activity, it would be a non economic activity. Price regulates the demand. Without price, for example, increase in price leads to decrease in demand and vice versa. So, if the demand is over full, then a supplier or a producer may try to reap the benefits, try to increase the price so that two benefits would be achieved by him. First, the demand would decrease, and second, he would be able to earn more profits. Price is used as an effective competitive weapon also. On the basis of price, you can give a tough competition to your competitors in the market. Say by reducing the price, you can direct all your customer flows towards you. Price affects revenue and profits because whatever sales we make, that has to be multiplied by the price. So if the prices are high, the revenue would go up, not necessarily the profits, but it is generally believed that with increase in price, the profit also ramps up. Next, we will see the factors affecting price determination. As discussed above, fixation of price is an important exercise for every firm. There are numerous factors which affect fixation of it. So, what are these factors? Let us check. So, whenever a firm tries to fix a price for any product or service, it has to keep so many factors in mind because that is something is going to affect our bottom line, that is our profit. So before we decide on any particular amount that can be kept as a price, we have to examine a certain set of factors. First such factor that everyone considers, the very basic factor, is product cost. Product cost includes cost of production, cost of sales, cost of distribution, cost of marketing. Everything that can be attached to the costing of that product is included in product cost. So, this cost sets the minimum price at which the products may be sold. Say you are manufacturing a pen and the cost of manufacturing that pen is rupees 6, right, including everything. Product cost, I am saying that the cost of producing, selling, distributing, marketing, everything. So 6 is the minimum price you have to charge to your customers so that you do not suffer losses. Even if we do not add a single rupee over 6 rupees as a profit, minimum amount that we should be keeping for our pen is rupees 6, right? So 6 is your product cost. This minimum price is also called floor price because above floor we rise to earn the profit. So at times when a firm introduces a new product, it may launch the product at a price less than its cost. but it's not possible in the long run. Say this is one of the market penetrating strategy, that to enter into the market, if you are new to the market, you are entering with the lower prices just to gain the cost leadership. But in the long run, every firm aims to earn a certain margin of profit. Margin of profit means percentage of profit. So, just a moment. Yes, we have to examine various types of cost. This you also must have studied in your accountancy, that the total product cost consists of three types of costs: fixed cost, variable cost, and semi variable cost. Now, what is fixed cost? This we have already studied in our class 11th economics also. Fixed cost is the cost which does not change with the change in production volume. It remains constant whether you produce 1000 units or 10 units or 0 units are produced. Then also there are certain expenses you have to make, like rent, salaries, interest on loan. Rent of the premises, for example, you have to pay even if you are not using the premises, but you have taken it on rent. So from day one the rent starts to get cycled. Salaries of workers, even the workers, you may not have, for example, raw materials to start the production, but since you have hired the workers, you have to pay them at the end of the month. Same goes with interest on loans. So this cost won't increase with the production or won't go down with it, but it would remain constant. Second is variable cost. Variable cost is the cost which would change with the production level. Say it is directly proportional to the level of production. So variable cost will be incurred only if there is any production. If there is no production, there will not be any variable cost. So other way around, if you say, if you increase the production, these variable cost would increase. For example, raw material cost, labor cost, petrol expenses, right? These expenses would go up with the production. Not wasting much time over it because you are well aware about. Third is semi-variable cost. Semi-variable cost, on the other hand, is the cost which varies with the level of production activity but is not directly proportional to the production. So semi-variable costs example can be telephone expenses, salesman incentive. Salesman's incentive means the fixed part would be his monthly salary, variable part would be the commission that you are going to pay him for the sales he has achieved, right? Or for the targets he has achieved over and above his salary, on a certain percentage you are paying for the extra achievement. So that is semi-variable cost. So please remember, under the first factor of price determination, product cost, you have to write about the meaning of product cost as well as little elaboration with example of these three types of cost: fixed cost, variable cost, and semi variable cost. Let us examine now the second factor affecting the price determination, that is the utility and demand. Now, the maximum price a buyer is willing to pay is the value of the utility. It means what a product can satisfy. Depends on, say, it differs, and it also depends on a consumer, differs from consumer to consumer. Say a product, if for example an ice cream, a strawberry flavor is liked by me a lot, right? So I'll be paying or I'm ready to pay a little higher for that quality of ice cream, that variety of ice cream, but my friend may not like it, right? So she may not get that urge to pay something extra for that variety of ice cream, right? So utility is something differs from person to person, and so is the willingness to offer something for that product. Therefore, the price must reflect the interest of both buyer and seller. According to you, for example, you are a producer of ice cream. According to you, the strawberry flavored ice cream should be of rupees 50, right? Say 100 grams. But according to the customer, it's little high. So you have to make sure that you fix a price on the basis of utility of the product and the intensity of demand. So what is how demand would affect the price? Say if your product is elastic, it means a little increase in price or little change in price would lead to higher changes in demand, that is elastic demand, right? So in this case of elastic demand, a firm cannot fix the high prices, right? Because a little change in price would lead to a bigger change in its demand. The demand can go down or go up, it depends on how you change the price. But in case the demand is inelastic, means the demand is not going to change with the change in price. The demand is so rigid. For example, salt, right? Medicines, the demands are inelastic, that even if a producer increases the price, these are the necessities, so people are going to buy it, right? In the same way, demand for gold in marriage season in India, inelastic. No matter whatever is the price in the marriage season, people are going to buy the gold. So in case your demand, your product's demand is inelastic, you have a big scope of changing the price. But if the demand is elastic, you cannot. So this factor also has to be kept in mind. Third is extent of competition in the market. Very easy. The product cost determines the minimum price along with the utility and demand, but it is actually the nature and degree of competition which fixes the price of the product. In case the lesser degree of competition, you can say that you can keep the prices higher. But if the market is of free in nature, free economy in nature, capitalistic market, then, or say you can say perfect competitive market, then it is difficult for a single producer to change the price, and you have to keep the price closer to the minimum or market level. Therefore, while fixing the price of the product, the firm must consider competitors' price and their anticipated reactions also. The competitors or your customers or your markets won't say that since you are new, you may charge higher from us. They would always compare you with your age old competitor, that this shop wala is selling this product as at XYZ price. Why are you charging so higher? You cannot say since I am new in the market, right? So you have to set your product's price observing what the competition has to say, right? Fourth point is government and legal regulations. Government may intervene or regulate prices by declaring a product as essential product to protect the interest of society at large. Therefore, the firm has to fix its price, product price, within the rules and regulations as stated by government from time to time. This is to protect interest of both society as well as producers, so that there is no cartel happening and that cartel may not exploit the other producers or the small and scattered consumers. Fifth is marketing methods used. Price fixation also depends on the other marketing elements used. If a firm provides unique services like say free home delivery or certain other customer services, or it puts some extra efforts in promoting the products, or it gives a credit facility, or it incurs a lot of expenses on distribution system so that it can make available its product at every nook and corner of the street, then it may charge a little higher price, right? And that is also justifiable, as if you can justify why are you setting the higher prices to your customers at large, you can get a higher profit. Say here I would further explain that if for example you are giving an extraordinary after sale services, you are giving extra warranty and guarantee, you are putting in say good displays of your product, you are hiring quality salesman, you are giving feel good factor of a shopping experience to your customer, you may charge a little higher price, and the customer understands everything, no matter whether you explicitly explain or not, they understand, and so they will be ready to pay that small amount of premium to you. So in this cases you may charge higher price. The last in here price determination factor is pricing objectives. This is very important from the exam's viewpoint. Each firm has its own set of objectives guiding the fixation of prices. The objectives can be say first obtaining market share leadership. It means the firm with this objective that it has to gain a lot of customers from its competitor. Then the strategy would be to set low prices so that it can reach larger number of customers. Market share leadership means, say, of a hair oil brand, if you ask any random consumer which hair oil brand comes to your mind, if I ask to you right now, and that person says Dabur Amla, it means Dabur Amla has the maximum market share. So if you want to snatch that market share from Dabur Amla, you have to not only put in extra efforts in promotion but also fix the low prices so that you can gain that extra amount of customers. So if the firm's objective is to gain a lot of market share, lot of customers, then it may fix lower prices. So here with these 3 points you have to just keep in mind that where can you fix the higher prices and where can you fix the lower prices. The second is surviving in a competitive market. Yes, of course, if you have the challenges, a lot many challenges from your competitors in form of more efficient products, then you, the existing firm, may have to offer lower prices so that you can survive. Here we are not talking about making losses but reducing your profit margin. Same as we did in our first point of market leadership, here also you can lower down your price so that your competitor may not be approached by your customers, but they may approach you looking at the lower prices and discounts you offer. Last is attaining product quality leadership. That is, here is the only point wherein you can charge higher prices. Now, if a firm wishes to produce high quality products and be the leader in the industry, then it has to incur high cost in research and development, isn't it? So you are producing a simple winter cream, but you have incurred a lot in research and development so that you can give a very good quality winter cream. So for that you may charge something extra also. So firm has to fix high price to recover these additional expenses, right? So here in this case, by showing the good quality and the results, you certainly can put higher price tag on your product, right? One more objective is missing here that I'll be adding later to this slide is price maximization. So a firm with an objective of maximizing profits in the short run will fix higher prices. But if a company has plans to maximize profits in the longer run, then it will fix lower prices and increase the sales volume. So in marketing, there are two ways of increasing your profit. First is to keep the higher prices, but your sales turnover would be lower. Second, to keep the prices low and increase your sales volume. So at the end of the day, in both the situations, you are at the same level. I hope you understand this. Either you keep the higher prices, so you will sell less number of units, but due to higher prices, your profit margin would be same. Second, you keep lower prices, but then you have to increase your turnover, the number of units sold, so that you can earn higher sales turnover, leading to the same amount of profit as you would have earned in the first category, right? I hope these points are clear to you. Now in our next presentation, next video, I'll be explaining the third element of marketing mix, that is place, or it is also called physical distribution. If you do not understand anything in the second P, or if you have any doubt in any point, please let me know. Thank you and have a nice day. Stay safe.